Hello and welcome to When Pigs Fly. I'm Patty and I'm joined with Tracy and Renee. Good morning, ladies. How are you
Good
today?
morning.
Hello.
Great. Good morning.
So, today we thought we would talk about a very popular subject, or popular or unpopular, depending on what your current perspective is. And that is we are going to do Abundance 101. What exactly is abundance and what it's not? And so, for anybody that is struggling with a lack mentality in any area, this is going to be so helpful for you. And out of the gate, I've got to say this: abundance is not money. If you put your entire focus of the word abundance on money, you're missing the broader picture. And we all hear money's an energy, and that is true. And abundance is an energy, and it is uh, it's a level of consciousness that you can align yourself with. And so today we're going to try and help guide you to be more expansive and go beyond thinking that number one, there's only one way that money can come in. That's a common thing that I see in my practice. Someone says to me, "Oh, well, I learned this one thing and I was taught this in school and this is the only way abundance could come in." Well, if you tell yourself that, that's what the universe is going to give you more of. And then if you can, how can you adopt a curious mentality that's not fear-based to say, "Oh, I wonder how money could money come in surprising ways? Could money come in fun ways?" And these are just some tricks that you can use to broaden and go from curiosity versus fear-based. So who wants to jump in next? I threw that out there to get us going. Renee?
I'll jump in just to tell you what I see from an energy perspective of people that are struggling with abundance. And again, abundance, I'm not just talking money because a lot of that energy is not yours per se. If you're struggling with anything in your life, abundance is everything, like relationships, love, courage, the ability to stand up for yourself, like all sorts of things. Okay. So it's this piece of when I'm looking at the energy point, we're going to go right back into when you were first created. Okay. That little seed there. If your parents, and I mean both parents, whatever they were going with, that energy is coming in to you, whatever they're going through the entire aspect of that pregnancy. Okay, so you've got somebody that's fearing, oh my God, how am I going to take care of this child? Or, oh my God, does my husband love me? Oh my God, there's not enough food. I'm starving. When you're pregnant, sometimes you get really hungry, okay? You want something. If your mom was going to, and I'm not blaming this on you, I'm telling you what you have from the energy point. If your mom was thinking, oh my God, I'm so starving and I can't move. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm dying for ice cream. I'm dying for a pickle or whatever it is. It's not there. That lack is going into your energy field. Okay, so now all of a sudden you come out, you're formed. I look and I see this energy that is your energy is all separate. Okay, so I see these big voids, this energy field that is connecting in. You've got almost like this energy tube coming into you that is feeding you lack. There's not enough. I'm not going to be loved. I'm not, this fear, this worry, this concern. It's moving through your entire system. And because that tube is there, what you're also doing is now it's connected into everybody else in the world that has a similar energy. So because like attracts like, you are moving through your days and through life, not only connected into that fear and have this core that is telling you there's not enough. And even if it says there's not enough love, okay, that's really flowing into money, relationships, the ability to stand up for yourself, all that stuff. Okay, so it's the point, and now you're connected into everybody else in the world. So if all of a sudden you're looking, you're saying, all my relationships are shit. Well, you know why? Well, you probably have that within you, and it's not even yours. So that's where I think this awareness of your body and what you're feeling comes into play. And really, especially in this energy field, it's so easy to begin to disconnect from that stuff. But I want you to understand where this is coming from. And you are not to come into a point of, oh, this is my mom's fault or it's my dad's fault. No, you chose your parents. You chose to come into this life to experience certain things. I hate when people say, oh, they're all lessons. They're not lessons. We were so excited to come here to experience this shit. Who cares is
Yeah.
that we're now judging it like, oh, that's bullshit. But it's this piece of like, you were so excited. I've seen it. So it's a matter of like, okay, wait a minute. I came in to experience this. I got it. Got you out loud and clear. Let's disconnect. And now let's move forward. Let's start to shift the energy and start to see abundance in all things. And we talked about this in another one of the podcasts, where when you're looking at that gratitude, you can look at abundance and everything. If you look back into the Roman times, they didn't have toilets that flushed. So look, I've got an abundance of water. I can flush. I can go to the bathroom. I can take a shower. I can like all these like start to look at your life and start to feel that abundance and the gratitude for those things, because it's not just one little pocket of things. Your abundance is your entire life and how you're moving into that natural flow, the flow of of Gaia, the flow of Mother and Father Earth, whatever you want to call it, the flow of the universe. We have to connect into that. And this whole energy that's moving through you, the more you're focusing on the positive, the more that automatically starts to go. You can most certainly say and do things to clear it, the disconnect. Oh my God, okay, I'm filling you with love. I'm filling you with abundance. Don't feel like, oh, I still don't understand what abundance is. What is abundance to you? It's the natural flow, going into the flow of the universe, the galaxy, whatever it is, where everything in your life flows easily and effortlessly in that beautiful gratitude. Make
Yeah.
sense? Throw
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. I just want to add a piece to that, Renee, too. And your soul knows.
Mm.
Your soul knows you are already whole, and your soul knows nothing but unconditional, complete love. Your soul knows your abundance. And the reason it feels crappy when you're in lack is that's your soul, that's your inner GPS saying, no, it already is in you. You got to go inside. And this is finding an abundant energy level to connect with is completely within you. And if you look outside, you can't see it. This is just consider that. Instead of saying it's my boss isn't providing it, my spouse isn't providing it, oh, I'm not good enough. And at the core of a lot of this is worthiness issues, right? So your guides, your soul, all know you're abundant. And when you plug into that, they all jump in to support that. But when you put the stop sign up of resistance and lack, then it stops. And so, I'll start with that. I think we all know the story in Think and Grow Rich, where the guy stopped, 3 feet short of gold because he put up that resistance. And then the guy that bought it, you know, got all the gold. So consider that in your core, your true soul already knows this abundance. And when you can tap into it, it does support you. And it takes, you really have to let go of the lie that your eyes are telling you, which could be, right, a lack of love. Oh, I don't have a relationship. All the good ones are taken. Listen to your language around money. Listen to your language around love. Listen to your language around anything that you feel is lacking. And it's not your belief. And so, just consider that and know that in bringing yourself back inward, you can connect to that soul knowledge and that soul wisdom, and then start to listen for the guidance. And I just wanted to add that piece in, and let's hear from our abundant friend Tracy.
So I'm just kind of sitting here thinking, because I think Renee and Patty can both kind of attest when you talk to clients and a lot of people, so many people, they just want to be rich, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not faulting that by any means, but I do feel like, if you ask a lot of people, they just want to be rich and successful, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But and then I look at myself and I think, gosh, my husband and I we're extremely successful. We do very well, and I'm very grateful for that. And when people ask kind of, well, how did you have rich families? Is this? And no, we waited tables. Like, that's the root of our success, is waiting tables. How, basic of a skill is that? But what it comes down to is, I've always just wanted to be happy. Like, that. What do I want? I want to be happy. I want to be happy, and I want to have fun. And where I got that from and where it came from, I cannot really speak to that. But it's an interesting I was just thinking when my husband and I, we met in college and when we graduated, I wanted to go to Europe. That was my plan. Before I went off and became a whatever, I was going to move to a city and be an advertising person. Never happened. But I wanted to go to Europe for 3 months. And we had to clear up some debt. And I kind of went on this little mission of, okay, we're going to put $1,500 of cash in the bank every month. We waited tables out in Vail, Colorado, had a ton of fun, skied all the time, partied like crazy, and saved a shit ton of money. Why? Because I wanted to go have an experience in life. I wanted to have fun. That's it. I wasn't trying to buy a car. I wasn't trying to do anything. I wanted to have fun. Well, and then we were so successful, we did it for 6 more years. We had a ton of fun, skied like crazy, partied like, and came home and came to Florida and bought a piece of property every summer. And so I'm telling you this big story because what was the root of our success? Having fun.
Yes, that's the key, Tracy. You didn't focus on money. It's always a state of being that you want. You want a sense of security. We came here, believe it or not, regardless of what situation you chose, we came here to experience joy and fun. And you are a prime example of what Renee and I preach to our clients, which is when you follow your passion and your joy. Oh, my scalp's tingling. When you follow your passion and your joy, the money comes. That is what's called, that's the flow. That's the energy you're looking for. So, number one, what do you want? How are you defining success? How are you defining? I have people doing an exercise sometimes where I'll say, okay, I'm going to give you $100,000. I want you to spend it in a week. And every day you have to write a check. They can't even spend it because so I'm like, so then the amount that you have in your head that you think you need, all of our needs are met. This is the big misconception with the fear blanket. All of our needs are met. We are abundant like the earth produces. We're the producer of our abundance. You're the source, not people outside of you. So if you even just practice every day saying, all of my needs are met. So what would bring you joy? And gosh, that's a hard one because people think that I don't deserve to have fun. And you got to let go of that wet blanket now. It's go time. This is when the energy's here to support this. And Tracy, gosh, that story right there, what she just told you is the secret. It's no secret to abundance. Do what brings you joy and focus on that because she can reproduce that now in any way she does. And I can tell you, she does. And she has a fun and fulfilling life. And she created it. So there was no silver spoon here. There's no way here. And by the way, you hear stories of people who lost, right? Maybe lost their work. Well, if you are in a lack or fear of defending, the second you become fear of losing, you've taken your focus off the state of being that you wanted, which is security and fun. And in following your passion, it comes, and that is so opposite of what we were told. We were told, do this, plan, save, la, la, la. And I'm not saying don't do that. We'll talk about money responsibility in another session. But if you are trying to shift your energy and get into an abundant flow, what brings you joy is the key. And you saw Tracy was like, oh, we like this. Let's just do more of this. And then at a certain point, they were like, okay, we're good with that. You can let it go because why? All my needs are met. All my needs are met. And it's like in this moment, what do I want to create? Where can I have fun? Renee, I see you.
I know, yep, I love it because not only with the money, but your relationships and everything. When you say, okay, look, because I've had clients say this, like, if I had enough money, I wouldn't care about this relationship. I'm like, you really would because you can see the love that's there. It goes back to what we had talked about, last time of why did you fall in love with that person? Why did you marry that person? That stuff for why is this person, your best friend? Like, look at it. And sometimes we grow apart, like, I get that, but it's this piece of when you start to look and you say, okay, this is what I want all of this money because then I can do anything I want and I wouldn't be tied down. What really is at the bottom line of that? What are you really looking to feel? Because as evidenced by that experience of Patty just saying, I tell them, okay, here, you're going to have $100,000 and you need to spend this in a week. And they couldn't spend it. Well, because the truth is, you're not really looking for money. You're looking for something else. And it might be peace for you. It might be joy. It might just be, feeling happiness. If it's, you might have grown up with this whole thing. A lot of us, like if we grew up with struggle, that's what we know. Like, I remember like, having children and my husband say, did you take the kids to the park today? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, why? I was like, I don't know. It didn't ever even occur to me. Like that's how I grew up. Like we did, like, we grew up in this struggle and this fear and this work. And it's like, it doesn't click in your head. So it's a matter of you now saying, okay, look at, thank you so much for this whole childhood. Thank you so much for wherever I got this, whatever this is. And I'm going to put that aside now. Okay. I'm just going to like let that go and let it like, picture it like a body. You're going to ask it to like stand over here and like watch us move into this field. And it's really crazy because all of a sudden you start to get these thoughts in this field of like, oh, I feel so much lighter because you've asked and you invited that peace to step outside of you. Put it in, this is an experience, and I'm sure you've heard of this, Patty, where you took money and you put it in a chair across from you and you sat there and you had this conversation with money. I remember doing that years ago. And what was really interesting to me, like back then I was like, oh, that's weird. But what was interesting to me is that money said, you don't even like the smell of me. And they're right, because I did all this change. Like my mom was a waitress. And I remember one time I was saying like, okay, well, what are we going to have for dinner? And she said, let's see. And she took all the change out and threw it out on the table. And I was like, oh man, this stuff smells disgusting. Like, and I couldn't, even when I had, like, I'd go wash my hands. So I had this whole aversion, like, oh my God, money, like, I don't want anything to do with that. Not even recognizing and realizing. But how that, when I really got into the money, it wasn't money I wanted. It was to feel worthy, to feel that I deserved something. I deserved to be happy. I deserved a great life. I deserved to have things that I wanted. And it wasn't money. And
Right. You
what's
wanted
really,
love, right? It was right. Yeah. So true.
yeah.
It's a state of being.
And it was really, crazy on how that whole thing comes around and recognizing when all of your needs are met. A lot of us get into this thing of like, well, if I have money so I can buy this and this. A lot of times people give you things. And this is one of the biggest thing a lot of people don't recognize. All of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I need a dresser, or I need this kind of food order. And all of a sudden somebody invites you, oh, come on me. I'm going to invite you into dinner. Or, oh my God, I've got this, couch I'm getting rid of. Does anybody need it? Oh my God, I would love a couch. But they don't recognize that as, okay, wait, now I don't have to go out and purchase that. Things flow to you. And that's exactly what Patty had just spoken to about it just coming to you. It just begins to flow to you because it's not coming through, oh, I got to work to get money. That's another belief system that is like, no, that's so untrue. Things can just flow when all of your needs are met. That's the abundant energy that just brings in more fun, more joy. All of a sudden you've got time. You've got like all of this stuff is just flowing. So expand that consciousness into recognizing what abundance really is and get out of your head on, oh, it's money or it's this or it's this. And what is it I really want? Go down to the core of that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Especially for those who were told by their parents, I sacrificed to get this. Ooh, that stays in your, I sacrificed everything for you, right? Now all of a sudden you have this massive guilt. I'm not worthy of money. My parents told me they sacrificed everything for me, and again, we're not saying you can forgive them. That's the best that they knew. And remember, we chose to have this experience. But right now, you also chose to be here at the time when this great awakening of consciousness is happening. You chose to be here and experience this. So tapping into that, the universe is supporting your abundance. You're not alone. You're not in charge of creating it. What you are in charge of, because you have free will, is what state of being are you choosing? What do I want to create in this? And you can start just by observing the abundance around you in nature. Take it off of yourself, take it off your checking account, and just go outside and see all the trees, and go to the supermarket, look at the produce department, right? You pick one apple up, 10 fall. That's abundance that came from the earth, right? There's no one saying there's no more apple trees out there, right? So just tapping into and recognizing it and getting to a point of appreciation is one step towards aligning your energy, with abundance.
Well, and also don't miss the gift in, I mean, one of my favorite statements is I'm really good at being poor. I had to put myself through college. I mean, I had to steal saltines to go with my one tub of Jif to get through the week. So I have no fear of being poor, which is such a gift because my husband and I will take huge leaps of faith that no one else ever would. You know why? I'm not scared to be poor. Like I'll make it. And oh, by the way, some of the best times of our life. My husband and I, when we met in college, neither one of us had any money. We both had jobs. You know what I mean? And oh my God, the freedom and the fun. I don't know why everyone thinks that money is God, you have so much fun when you're poor and you're creative and you're imaginative. And I don't know how I got so lucky to be so grateful to have fun and be poor. I loved it. Some of the funnest times of my life. Sometimes I'm like, all this money shit sucks. It comes with a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? And it does. So I'm giving you a perspective. If you happen to be in any love or there's every scenario and situation has gold in it if you choose. I remember the first time I bought a nice pair of sheets. It was probably on sale. I can't tell you for months, I would go to bed and be like, oh my gosh, this isn't hand-me-down sheets that I bought my own pair of whatever thread cotton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how I
Right.
came across that, I don't know, but I will tell you that being poor is fun if you allow it to be. And there is so much freedom in, well, let's use love. Like if you're not in a relationship right now or you don't have good friends, I love myself. Go have fun with yourself. You are one of the most amazing people out there. So go enjoy you.
Yeah.
So I want to flip it back of, yeah, abundance is great, but there's abundance in all the preconceived non-abundant scenarios. Because to me, those non-abundant scenarios are overfilled with abundance. So change your perspective.
And well, Tracy, and you just brought up a really good point because many people ask us, I know in our coaching business, okay, but here's my current situation. How do I get out of it? And you just nailed that. Energetically, you have to be absolutely neutral and okay and just say, you know what? Your eyes, this you've manifested that right now. What you're seeing right now has already manifested, but you're a conscious creator. So in that moment, when you can get yourself and don't embody this fear and go, oh, again, when you can just look at that with neutrality and say, wait, I've got my health. I can go have fun. What do I want to create instead? That's where you start. You can start exactly where you're at now. And I know this because I've seen people do it. I've done it myself. And I know Renee has helped people do this too. And Tracy, you've been fortunate in that you actually have a natural, you didn't get detached from that abundant. And that's why you had that faith that, okay, right now, this is what I need to do, but I'm okay. But you didn't go into fear. You stayed in your joy and you stayed in your passion. And, that is such an important point. It really is, Renee.
It's so important. And Tracy, you said this perfectly because the gratitude you had. Gratitude is absolutely huge. Start to have gratitude for waking up in the morning, for just all the little things in life, because it starts to shift your brain. But for me, to get me out of that, what I did, because at that time I was working with Archangel Michael. And I remember just saying, okay, Archangel Michael, you have to help me see abundance. You have to help me see, money. You have to help me change because I don't know how to do this. And it really was crazy how certain things, like I would be in my fear. I remember the one time I was washing dishes and I remember just feeling this fear like, oh my God, the electric bill's due and what am I going to do? And I don't want to ask my husband for money. And, he's going to say, what are you doing? And this whole thing, like I had this whole story in my brain that he was going to be so mean and so nasty, which was ridiculous, but I didn't want to ask either. There was no way I was asking for help from a human being because then that to me said that I didn't know how to do something or I was a failure. So I couldn't ask that. And I remember just being in the fear, and feeling it come up and over me. And I just started crying. And I remember feeling, nobody was telling me. And I remember this big hand coming on my back. And this peace that just came over me was phenomenal. And I remember looking behind because I was like, who the hell just walked in? And nobody was there. So we do have the assistance of all of these beautiful beings that are here to assist us. This energy isn't just coming in by itself. It is coming in with all of these beautiful energetic beings that are here to assist us. They cannot assist us unless we ask. If you are so stuck in fear the way I was, and you can't see, and you're like, yeah, but I can't go have fun because my whole thing is like, how am I going to afford that? And what am I going to do? And I can't have fun doing that. No, you can have fun because if you just went to the park and like walking and or walking your dogs or just go to, someplace where you enjoy and just sit there and just let that energy of like water or whatever it is, wherever it is you like, let that engulf you. That's your body talking and allowing your soul to come forward to let you know, guess what? It's all okay. We're going to let this stuff wash away, but stay here in this gratitude and this peace and this calm, because my guess is that's what you're really looking for, that beautiful peace and that calm. Because
Right.
when I've got that peace and that calm, I know I'm safe. And when I've got safety, I will do anything because who gives a shit? Like I know everything's going to be okay. And you will be that same thing, but ask. Like now I'm just like, okay, guys, help me with this. Because we're doing this. We don't know. So
Yeah.
take the blinders off. Ask
Yeah.
for that help. Let that energy start to flow. But get out there and just do something. Get out of that field of where you're in. Walk someplace else and picture yourself. I'm going to leave this right here. And then walk someplace else, because when you get back, that's already gone. That
Yeah.
energy's not there anymore.
Yeah. You're fully supported, but you need to allow it and let go of the resistance. And it's true, safety, security comes from peace. And if all you do is focus on that feeling of peace to start, from there, you allow and ask for support, like Renee said. Say, okay, show me, but also focus on what you have. Focus on what you have and be grateful, and just and things that you really are really passionate about. Say, yes, I would love more of this, please. Like you can literally direct your own abundance, and you can start with things like, if you tell me you have nothing, it's like, no, did you wake up this morning? Thank your body. Thank you, body, for being here. You have probably running water, you have electricity, you have a roof over your head. And don't worry about 3 months from now or even next month. Right now, it's got to be in the now moment. That's the key. Right now, all my needs are met. And when you keep saying that, all my needs are met, all my needs are met, you now and go to that inner stillness and ask for help. Don't make any big decisions if you don't have the answer and you don't have the money or whatever it is, or you don't have a relationship that you want. Don't make the big decision right now. Your job is to get yourself into a place of peace and ask for guidance. Show me, and then stay in that appreciation. Like Tracy said, if you don't have, what would you do if you had that person? Right? Oh, okay. Maybe we would cook dinner together, then put on some freaking romantic music, get a meal going. Or what would you go do with that person? Go do that activity. Hello, maybe someone with that same energy is out doing that freaking activity on that same day, but you blew it because you stayed home and said the crap, all the good ones are taken. This is how the energy of abundance works. You and get out there and start to notice, like the sun is, you're right, we have the sun, we have air, there's abundance all around you. But just start with the basics and be grateful for that piece, because now you're tied into the energetics of gratitude, which is all connected to your abundance. It's always connected. And it's every single thing. Do you have toilet paper? You have a toilet. Are you shitting in the woods? Are you sitting on, right? All of these things, and having a gratitude and start. I think in our gratitude episode, we talked about this. Get really granular about it. But that's how you take these baby steps and being comfortable. You must be comfortable and neutral where you're at now. And it's a complete, it's letting go of that old fear operating system in the brain. And it's a skill. It's absolutely a skill that you practice, but the shift happens so quickly, because if you just say what you really want is peace is security. And when you can get that in the moment, that's when you can then receive the guidance and you will get, right? Things shift and you start seeing, oh, wow, somebody just invited me out to this fantastic opulent dinner. And right. And like when you say, oh, I'd love more of this, please. But you have when you're out of the fear, that's when you open the energy for that to come in. Right. Any we went through 30 minutes fast. Any closing statements? What a great topic. I know we're going to continue it.
Yeah, I just want to say, when you're saying all my needs are met, just follow that with thank you. You're putting that appreciation in. So everything that you're saying, just follow it with thank you. Whether you think it or say it out loud, the energy's there.
Yeah.
Trace?
Also, I think, I mean, we can all say most people have had their share of challenges and garbage in their past and their stories. I mean, I'm sure all three of us, it wasn't all roses and challenges, or, you know, like I've had my challenges even recently. They exist. So I guess my message is, yes, you can. Like everyone can overcome and make a choice. And it's okay if you still even have a crappy day sometimes, but you just keep making that choice to find the gratitude, to search for the joy, to reach for, even if you're not in it in the moment, reach for it. Because I like to say, listen, yeah, challenges exist. It's not like
Yeah.
we all popped out of the womb golden bunnies of abundance, right? Like it's been a process.
Yeah. But you choose your energy. You're
Yeah.
choosing your energy and you're creating. Don't forget, you're a creator. This is a new concept for a lot of us. You are a creator. And what am I choosing to create right now? Okay, I want to create peace and safety. And how can I do that? And just be grateful, like focus on what you have, focus on what you have, focus on what you have. And then what by not overreacting in the moment and thinking, oh, I don't have a solution, that's where you ask for your guidance. Go into peace and ask for guidance. And sometimes things just shift on their own. And all of a sudden you find out that, oh, okay, I got more time to handle that. Oh, somebody's going to come in and help me with this. Stop trying to do this alone. You're fully supported. That's the key. All right. So I think we'll take this into the next episode, ladies. Great, great conversation. And we are going to encourage all of you, save this one, bookmark it, whatever you need to do, because you're going to go back. If something resonates with you, please go back and listen to that, because it'll initially, when you start to take in this new information and a new operating system and learning this, something will tap you deep inside that you go, oh, I didn't quite understand that. Go back and listen to it, because as you expand your consciousness, it'll begin to make more and more sense as you go along. All right. So great episode, ladies. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one.